Hello and welcome to LinkedIn Lobotomy. Yes, I know I picked a funny name, but I did that because I always have fun when I make my courses. I think that you should always have fun when you're doing this. This business is about not only making money, but how to make money and have a great lifestyle. As a matter of fact, I am filming this from South America with my friend Alejandro here in Buenos Aires. So let's go through the basics of LinkedIn. First, we have the profile. Now, if you're not familiar with LinkedIn, this might sound new to you. If you're familiar with it, this might help. But anyways, here's one thing I want to tell you. When you start your profile, please complete it. Fill out every part of it they ask you to that's possible. Don't go too crazy. If they ask for a resume, I recommend you skipping the resume. That's not really necessary. It's mostly for people who are looking for jobs. Also, within the profile, try using strong keywords that pertain to the things that you want to rank for. So, for example, if you're filling out your profile for past job experiences and you want to be really big in the dog niche, make sure that you mention dogs all throughout your profile. Next, make your profile readable and professional. If your profile just looks like one keyword after another, that won't look good, especially if you're trying to get approved into groups. LinkedIn was a bit, well, it was a bit new, but right now the moderators have really, they've gotten really keyed up on people that are spamming. So make sure that your profile does look readable and professional. I really recommend that you make sure that the profile looks to the point where you would want to read it. If you can't read your own profile, if you can't say it out loud, well, you have a problem. Next, try inserting the URL of the site you want people to go to when you can and without it looking too unnatural, just because, of course, that does bring you in traffic. People will look at your profile. Next, would you read that profile? I mean, when you're finished making it, would you read that? Would you start from beginning to end and read that? Remember, people will read it. And if you're not willing to read it, just think to yourself, other people aren't willing to read it either. Lastly, try using a good picture. If you want to use a fake picture and you want to use a fake profile, that's perfectly fine. People do that. They use pseudonyms. They don't use the real identity. That's well and good, but do not use a stock picture that looks like some guy that was, perfectly modeled. Try finding a picture that, especially if it's yourself, that you look professional, you look, that it's not too, make sure it's not too professional, but you want to make sure that it doesn't look sloppy either. So you want to make it a professional picture that's not too professional, because there's so much spam right now on LinkedIn. People can start spotting a fake profile a mile away. So just be careful when it comes to profiles. My recommendation is to take a casual photo. People like that. It's professional. Make sure it's professional and casual, because it is social media. We got to be social, right? So here's some of the rules. When it comes to joining some of these groups, they don't like squeeze pages, but don't worry, I have figured a way around that. Next, quality is king. If you want to stick around LinkedIn for a long time, just remember that quality trumps quantity. So the very fact that you're posting a lot of stuff is not a really good idea. People want to see something that's quality, and just remember, you're the same exact way. So just think of yourself when it comes to what you're reading and what you're sharing. Next, LinkedIn is social. So it's all well and good to be social. Now, here's one recommendation, because I do a lot of coaching. Don't spend too much time socializing. There's a big difference between networking and not working. It's only one letter, but there's a big problem. So when you're socializing, the socializing should always be to a greater end. And I will go into that in some of the bonus module of the joint venture, a really good way to socialize to do joint ventures. Next, you can apply for 10 groups as you're waiting. That's the max that you can wait for. So when you apply to your groups, we'll go through some strategies about what types of groups to go into, but you can only apply for 10 at a time as you're waiting. But as you're getting approved, you can apply for more groups. But again, you're gonna have the 10 you're waiting for, but you can join as many as 50 groups. And that really is your goal, to join 50 groups and to keep joining bigger and better groups. And again, there's some strategies to doing that, and we will go into that. So that is the basics of LinkedIn.